6. Lucky numbers to win big and get rich on Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Buddhist teachings. What if just 6 numbers could shift your life? From chaos to clarity, from lack to abundance. This Sunday, May 18th, 2025, a rare energetic alignment is opening a window of opportunity. And through the lens of ancient Buddhist wisdom and sacred numerology, 6 lucky numbers have revealed themselves. Not by chance, but through purpose and vibration. In today's video from The Journey of Wisdom, we'll uncover how these numbers can align with your energy to attract not just wealth, but peace, purpose, and balance. Stay with me till the end, because the final number carries a powerful frequency that could open unexpected doors. Take a deep breath, subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom, and let's begin your path to mindful abundance. 1. Number 3. Now, let's turn our attention to a number that doesn't just sit quietly in the background. It pulses with life, breathes energy into your soul, and reminds you of the power of expression. That number is 3, a symbol of joy, imagination, and transformation. In daily life, 3 is the vibrant force behind every creative breakthrough. It's the storyteller who draws you in with rich emotion, the friend whose laughter lifts the room, and the inner artist in you that's been longing to be seen. It reflects the essence of those who live boldly, who color outside the lines and trust their instincts, who know that life is not just meant to be lived, but to be fully felt. As the Buddha once said, your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart to give yourself to it. This quote perfectly reflects the energy of the number 3. It's about honoring your truth and using your voice, even when it trembles. In Buddhism, 3 carries sacred meaning, symbolizing the body, the mind, and the soul, each one vital, yet only complete when they move in harmony. When aligned, they allow you not just to function, but to truly flourish. In a world that often asks us to mute our uniqueness, the energy of 3 says the opposite. Turn up the volume on your soul. Numerology tells us that 3 is the number of communication, imagination, and expansion. Just like Jupiter, the great cosmic amplifier. Its energy encourages you to speak up, write down that business plan, reach out to someone you admire, or finally act on the idea that's been nudging you awake at night. This May 18th, 2025, especially on a Sunday, a sacred pause in the week, the presence of number 3 is a cosmic invitation. Step forward boldly, create without apology, and lead from your heart. If you've been waiting for the right time, this is it. When you live from this place of joy and authenticity, life begins to respond in kind. As Lao Tzu reminds us, when you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. This energy doesn't promise easy riches, but it does point the way to meaningful abundance, the kind that comes when you express your gifts fully and connect with life from the inside out. So don't shrink. Step into your light, tell your story, trust your inner rhythm, and watch how the universe meets you there, with opportunities, clarity, and unexpected blessings. Let the number 3 be your guide, not just to outer success, but to the rich inner world that makes every achievement truly worthwhile. 2. Number 4. A number that may seem quiet and unassuming, yet carries a profound and transformative power, especially as we move towards Sunday, May 18th, 2025. This is not a flashy number chasing attention. Instead, number 4 is the steady builder, the patient architect laying down bricks one by one, making sure every detail supports something greater. In our fast-paced world, we often expect instant results. But number 4 brings a different kind of message. Slow down, be intentional, and trust the process. What if true wealth, whether material, emotional, or spiritual, isn't about sudden gains, but about what we build slowly and wisely over time? In Buddhist teachings, the path to awakening is never rushed. Like the Noble Eightfold Path, each step is deliberate, requiring discipline, mindfulness, and deep-rooted presence. Number 4 carries this same energy. It calls on you to show up even when no one is watching, to stay focused when distractions come, and to keep working not just for success, but for inner alignment and lasting peace. Numerologists call this the number of the builder, because it represents structure, reliability, and dedication to the long game. Astrologically linked to Saturn, the planet of karma and responsibility, 4 reminds us that while shortcuts may tempt us, real rewards come to those who stay true to their path, especially when it's hard. Can you stay committed even when the results aren't immediate? That's where true growth lives. Spiritually, number 4 invites us to connect with the 4 sacred elements: earth, water, fire, and air, the natural forces that keep life in harmony. Just like these elements, we need balance within to find peace and prosperity on the outside. As this powerful Sunday approaches, let the energy of 4 guide your steps. Organize your goals, recommit to your purpose, and remember that slow, steady effort builds not just wealth, but a life that can withstand any storm. The key message here: what you build with care and consistency today becomes the foundation of your abundance tomorrow. Stay grounded, keep going, and trust in the quiet strength of the number 4. 3. Number 7. Let's talk directly, from one soul to another, about something that might just change how you see not only luck, but life itself. And that's the quiet, powerful presence of the number 7. Now, I know in a world that constantly pushes us to be louder, faster, and more successful, this number may not stand out. But that's exactly where its magic lies. 7 doesn't shout, it invites. It steps into your life like a gentle whisper, asking you to pause, breathe, and listen to the wisdom already within you. Have you ever felt like you're constantly running but not truly moving forward? That's the trap of our modern routines. Deadlines, scrolling, rushing. And 7 offers you an exit from that loop. In Buddhist teachings, 7 is deeply symbolic. It marks the steps the Buddha took right after birth, reminding us that our journey begins with awareness, not ambition. It's not about getting rich fast, but about enriching your spirit first. Because real abundance comes when you align with your inner truth. And here's something beautiful to reflect on. Are you chasing wealth, or are you building a life that feels whole? In numerology, 7 is called the Seeker, a number that pushes you to ask the questions that really matter. What brings me peace? What am I truly searching for? That's where the transformation begins. Even in astrology, 7 is linked to Neptune, a planet of intuition and deeper understanding. So if you've felt disconnected or lost in the noise, maybe this is your moment to slow down and tune in. Let the number 7 be your quiet guide this Sunday, May 18th. Not to gamble your way to riches, but to set an intention rooted in mindfulness and clarity. What if your luck isn't just in winning something material, but in finding what truly matters to your heart? That shift alone could be the richest reward of all. If you've watched this far, you're already aligning with the powerful energy of fortune and wisdom for Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Comment "Lucky Path" below to affirm your readiness to receive abundance through these 6 special numbers. Don't miss what's coming next. Stay until the end to unlock the full meaning behind these numbers and the Buddhist teachings that guide true prosperity. 4. Number 26. Let's take a closer look at the number 26, not just as a figure on a page, but as a deeper message wrapped in spiritual insight. For men navigating the demands of work, family, and personal growth between the ages of 30 and 65, this number offers more than luck. It holds a kind of quiet guidance. In Buddhist philosophy, we often speak of the middle way, the path of balance that avoids both extremes of indulgence and denial. And that's precisely what the number 26 symbolizes. It is not the loud kind of fortune that shouts through risk and recklessness, but the steady kind that comes from grounded effort and mindful decisions. At its core, the number 2 brings intuition, cooperation, and awareness, skills that modern men need not only in business but also in relationships and everyday choices. The number 6 adds to this with its nurturing energy, emotional intelligence, and a desire for harmony, especially in a world that often rewards hustle over heart. Together they form a vibration that speaks of creating wealth not just with drive, but with wisdom and purpose. As 2025 unfolds with its share of global changes and personal uncertainty, 26 becomes more than a number. It's a spiritual checkpoint. It invites you to pause, to check in with your values, and to ask, am I chasing success in a way that aligns with who I truly am? Because without that alignment, no amount of wealth will bring peace. Mystics like Vanga and Nostradamus understood that certain numbers hold energy during pivotal times, and 26, they believed, was one of those rare numbers that could lead humanity toward either chaos or clarity. In today's context, this means we have a choice: to follow the crowd into stress and disconnection, or to walk our own path, rooted in reflection and integrity. And this is where the real wealth lies, not just in money, but in meaning. So this Sunday, May 18th, as you reflect on your goals and dreams, let the number 26 act as your spiritual compass. Let it guide you to take action that feels right in your body and honest in your heart. Whether you're investing, starting something new, or simply trying to reset your mindset, do it with grace, not desperation. 5. Number 11. Let's take a quiet moment and reflect on a number that many overlook. But those who are truly listening know its power, the number 11. This isn't just a digit you find on a calendar or a clock. It's a gentle knock at the door of your consciousness. 11 is known in spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, as a master number. And what makes it so powerful isn't noise or flash. It's its stillness. Its subtle invitation to return to yourself. When 11 shows up, it's not trying to impress you, it's trying to wake you up. Think of it as a signpost from the universe, gently reminding you to pay attention, to listen, not to the voices of fear or doubt outside, but to the deeper wisdom already within you. In Buddhist practice, we often speak of right awareness, the ability to see clearly without distortion. 11 represents that clarity. It's the quiet moment when everything aligns for just a second and you realize something profound without needing proof. It's like hearing a bell in the distance, soft but unmistakable. Many people ignore this kind of wisdom because it doesn't come with loud declarations. But in truth, the strongest guidance often arrives in silence. Let me tell you a story. There once was a young monk who asked his teacher how he could hear the voice of truth. The teacher replied, "Listen for the silence between your thoughts. That is where truth lives." This is the energy of 11. It doesn't speak louder than the world, but it speaks deeper. Have you ever had a moment when something inside you just knew what to do, without needing advice or approval? That's 11 moving through your life. Astrologically, 11 is tied to Uranus, the planet of change and breakthroughs. If you've been stuck in a cycle, living by rules that no longer serve you, May 2025 might be the month to break free. 11 reminds you, you are not meant to live someone else's script. You are here to honor your inner compass. But this isn't just about personal success. In the teachings of the Buddha, every action should benefit not only oneself, but all beings. 11 asks us to rise not with ego, but with purpose. It's the bridge between what we know and what we feel to be true. And when you walk across that bridge with mindfulness, you find yourself guided, not guessing. So I invite you to consider, what inner truth have you been ignoring? What part of yourself is ready to awaken? 11 won't push you, but it will light the way if you're ready to see. As you move through May, let the energy of 11 remind you that your life has direction, your thoughts carry power, and your heart already knows the way. 6. Number 35. If you've stayed with me this far, it tells me something powerful about you. You're not just here to chase lucky numbers, but you're genuinely walking this path with awareness, curiosity, and a heart open to something deeper. And for that, I want to share a final gift with you. Something more than just a number. It's the kind of symbol that carries not only the energy of good fortune, but also a message that could help bring light to your journey ahead. That number is 35. Now, before you brush it off as just another lucky charm, pause for a moment. What if this number isn't just about external gain, but about internal transformation? What if it's showing up in your life right now to help you realign with what truly matters? 35 is known in numerology as the harmonizer, a powerful blend of the expressive creativity of the number 3 and the bold, freedom-seeking spirit of 5. Together, they don't create chaos, they create balance in motion. This number speaks to transformation that doesn't shake you apart, but helps you grow from within, reminding you that meaningful change can be both mindful and full of life. As we approach Sunday, May 18th, 2025, a time when many believe the universe offers special openings for growth and prosperity. 35 becomes more than just a digit on a lottery ticket. It becomes a mirror, reflecting your own power to adapt, to reimagine your path, and to act with clarity. The question I want to gently ask you is this: are you willing to meet life with this kind of intention? Because 35 invites you to act, not out of desperation, but from vision. It calls on you to take risks that are rooted in awareness, not impulse, to pursue abundance without losing your values. And let's not forget that even the mystics of the past, like Nostradamus, saw this number as a signpost for collective turning points. moments when humanity is asked to evolve consciously. So, could it be that this number has shown up in your life for a reason right now? Maybe it's time to stop asking, "Will I get lucky?" and start asking, "How can I grow, align, and show up for the life I truly want?" Because when you do that, luck isn't something you chase. It becomes something you embody. 35 reminds us that real success isn't just about what you gain, but about who you become in the process. You've just taken a powerful step toward attracting wealth and good karma this Sunday, May 18th, 2025. If these 6 lucky numbers spoke to your heart, comment "Abundant Mind" to show you're ready to welcome prosperity with wisdom. Stay with us. More insights rooted in Buddhist teachings are just ahead, guiding you toward a richer, more meaningful life. The truth about money: why abundance starts with you. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need more to be enough. More money, more success, more security. But what if the real key to abundance wasn't about chasing something outside of you, but unlocking something within you? The truth about money and the abundance it represents is that it doesn't begin with a paycheck or a lucky break. It starts with mindset, clarity, and energy. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle despite hard work, it's not just luck, it's alignment. In this journey, we'll uncover 5 powerful truths that reveal why abundance always begins with you. Number 1. Abundance is energy. The truth about money, and more importantly about abundance, is that it doesn't begin with numbers in your bank account. It begins with the energy you carry within you. We've been trained to chase wealth as if it's something external, something to be captured, earned, or won. But in reality, abundance is not a destination. It's a state of being. You can have millions in your account and still feel empty, insecure, or fearful. Why? Because the root of abundance isn't financial. It's emotional, mental, and spiritual. When you operate from a mindset of scarcity, constantly feeling like there's not enough, like you're behind, or that you're missing out, you unconsciously push away the very opportunities and connections that lead to true prosperity. On the other hand, when you begin to embody gratitude, trust, and sufficiency, the world around you shifts. Suddenly, life feels more generous, people seem more supportive, and opportunities flow with less resistance. As the Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. This simple yet profound truth reminds us that what you cultivate inside determines what you manifest outside. If your inner world is grounded in fear and lack, no amount of wealth will calm your heart. But if your spirit rests in contentment, compassion, and clarity, even a modest life can feel rich beyond measure. There is a Zen story about a poor man who sat begging on a box for years, unaware that inside the box was a treasure he never opened. We are often like that man, searching outside for what already lies within. It's not that ambition or financial goals are wrong. They're not. But if those goals are rooted in desperation or a feeling of not enough, they become burdens rather than blessings. The deeper work is to recognize the energy you're bringing to the table. Are you acting out of fear or out of trust? Are your decisions being shaped by panic or by peace? These inner questions are not abstract. They determine how you show up in business, relationships, and daily life. Lao Tzu said, "He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough." In modern life, where comparison is only a scroll away and marketing constantly tells you you're lacking something, the ability to feel enough is revolutionary. It's a muscle that must be trained through daily practices of presence and appreciation. So, what does this mean for you as a man navigating today's pressures? Providing for a family, managing responsibilities, planning for retirement, or even just trying to feel like you're succeeding in a world that moves fast. It means that the first investment you must make is not in stocks or real estate. Start noticing how you talk to yourself about money. Is it with fear, with resentment, or with calm curiosity? Begin small by shifting your language. Instead of "I can't afford this," try "How might I create the resources for this?" This subtle shift invites possibility instead of shutting it down. Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully said, "Peace is present right here and now, in ourselves and in everything we do and see." When you begin to live from that space of grounded presence, you naturally become more magnetic to the kind of abundance that truly matters. In practical terms, cultivate habits that support inner abundance. Meditate not to escape life, but to see it more clearly. Journal your blessings, not because life is perfect, but because you're training your mind to see what's already good. Give generously, not just money, but time, kindness, and attention, because giving breaks the illusion of scarcity. And above all, be mindful of the energy with which you move through the world, because in the end, abundance isn't something you get, it's something you are. Number 2, scarcity is learned. If you've ever felt stressed about money, even when things look fine on paper, you're not alone. And there's a reason deeper than numbers for that feeling. Most of our fear around money doesn't come from our current financial situation. It comes from old programming buried deep in our minds. Maybe you grew up hearing things like "money doesn't grow on trees," or watching your parents argue about bills. Maybe you saw hard work go unrewarded, or success come at a high emotional cost. These early experiences, combined with cultural beliefs and generational wounds, shape our inner stories about money. Stories that whisper, "It's never enough," or worse, "I'm not enough." But here's the truth that can change everything. Scarcity is a mindset that was taught to you, and anything that can be taught can also be unlearned. Just like we learn fear, we can also learn peace. Just like we learn to chase, we can learn to receive. And this isn't just a nice idea, it's a real practical path. With awareness, you begin to notice your automatic reaction. Through journaling, you start to uncover the beliefs you've been carrying. Meditation helps you quiet the noise and hear what's actually true for you now, not what was passed down. Financial education gives you the tools and language to step out of confusion and into clarity. Let me tell you a story of a man I once met at a retreat. He was in his late 50s, successful by every external measure, a good job, a nice home, and even a retirement plan. But he shared with the group that every time he spent money, even on something small like lunch, he felt guilt and anxiety. When we talked deeper, he realized this stemmed from his childhood, growing up in a household where money was always tight and every dollar had to be justified. He had carried that invisible burden for decades, even after he became financially stable. But once he saw where it came from, he didn't blame his past. He began to change the story. Over time, he practiced replacing guilt with gratitude and fear with awareness. He started tracking his money not from a place of control but from curiosity. He shifted his energy from scarcity to stewardship. What about you? What are the stories you've been telling yourself about money? Are they truly yours, or were they passed down to you without question? And most importantly, are they serving you now? The Buddha once said, "Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again." This teaching applies perfectly here. You're allowed to grow out of old beliefs. You're allowed to choose a new relationship with money, one rooted in peace, purpose, and generosity. Because when you stop seeing money as something to fear or fight for, you start seeing it as a partner in your journey. Not the point of life, but a tool to support a life of meaning. Number 3. Self-worth equals net worth. Money isn't only about numbers, bank accounts, or retirement goals. It is an extension of your inner world, a mirror that quietly reflects how you see and value yourself. Too often, we separate financial success from personal growth, but in reality, the two are deeply connected. When you don't fully recognize your own worth, it's easy to fall into patterns that quietly drain you. Undercharging for your work, saying yes when you should say no, overspending to impress or distract, or sabotaging opportunities because a part of you feels unworthy of receiving more. These behaviors don't just affect your wallet, they echo something much deeper, a disconnect from your own self-respect. As you age and carry the weight of responsibility, family, career, health, it's crucial to pause and examine not just how you make money, but why you interact with it the way you do. Abundance doesn't begin in your paycheck or in a sudden windfall. It begins within. It starts when you treat yourself like someone of value, even when no one's watching. When you start setting clear boundaries, not just in business, but in your personal life, you send a message to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you are worth protecting and prioritizing. This kind of inner shift naturally begins to reshape your external reality. You might notice yourself making wiser financial choices, negotiating more confidently, or finally investing in things that support your growth rather than just your image. All of this isn't luck or coincidence, it's alignment. And alignment comes when your self-position is rooted not in fear, but in truth. The truth is, healing your relationship with money often means healing the relationship you have with your past, letting go of the guilt, shame, or scarcity you may have absorbed in your earlier years. Many men grow up hearing they must always provide, always succeed, never show weakness. But money doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to clarity. When you live with a constant sense of pressure or inadequacy, you may chase money in unhealthy ways, or worse, reject it altogether to avoid the emotional weight attached to it. But when you begin to operate from a place of grounded self-worth, you realize that earning and managing money is not a performance, it's an act of self-care. And that shift changes everything. In today's fast-paced, image-driven world, it's easy to compare your financial progress with others, to feel like you're falling behind, or to tie your identity too tightly to your income. But peace and prosperity aren't measured in dollars alone. They're felt in the quiet confidence that you're living with purpose and self-respect. So the next time you sit down to look at your budget or consider a business move, take a moment to check in with yourself first. Are you making this choice from fear or from faith in your own value? Because when you stop chasing abundance and start embodying it, money begins to flow more naturally, not because of some magic trick, but because you're no longer fighting against your own reflection. Let this truth settle in. Your financial life will always rise or fall to the level of your self-worth. And the good news is, self-worth isn't something you're born with or without. It's something you build, moment by moment, by choosing to live in integrity with who you are. As you grow in that truth, your relationship with money will shift, not overnight, but steadily, like the seasons changing. And just as nature never rushes, yet everything gets done, so too can your financial abundance unfold. Not through force, but through a deeper alignment with who you truly are. By staying with us, you're showing that you're ready to look deeper, beyond money itself, and into the source of real abundance, you. If you feel that shift beginning, comment "Abundance Awakens" below. We're just getting to the heart of this truth, so stay tuned. What comes next may change how you relate to wealth forever. Number 4. Focus creates flow. Let me ask you something. Have you ever paused to really notice where your money is going, and more importantly, why it's going there? This might seem like just another question about budgeting, but it's much deeper than that. The truth is, your relationship with money reflects something very personal: your attention and your intention. In other words, money flows in the direction of your thoughts and your purpose. If you're constantly worrying about not having enough, chances are you're stuck in a cycle of reacting to fear, to scarcity, to social pressure. But if you take a step back and bring awareness to your choices, you'll notice that you can redirect that flow. This is where real change begins, not in your bank account, but in your mindset. Because real abundance is not just about having more. It's about feeling empowered and at peace with how you handle what you already have. When you start making money decisions based on what truly matters to you, whether that's creating a peaceful home, learning something new, or supporting people in need, you begin to shift from unconscious spending to intentional living. You're no longer driven by impulse, but guided by clarity. Think about it. Isn't there something powerful about knowing that each dollar you spend or save is aligned with your values? That kind of awareness builds a life that feels meaningful, not just full. It's not about rejecting money or material comfort. It's about putting those things in their rightful place. Money becomes a tool, not a chain. It serves your life rather than controls it. Have you ever asked yourself, what does abundance really mean to me? For some, it's freedom. For others, it's safety or the ability to give back. When you get honest about your answer, you start to see that abundance isn't just something you chase. It's something you cultivate from within. And the surprising part? The more you live with intention, the more you naturally attract the kind of abundance that truly fulfills you. It's not magic, it's mindfulness. Your focus becomes your foundation. So if your attention is scattered, if it's stuck on comparing yourself to others or trying to meet expectations that don't reflect your values, then your money will reflect that chaos. But if your intention is rooted in peace, growth, and purpose, then your money begins to flow in ways that uplift, not drain. Now, I want to share a personal thought with you. For a long time, I thought I needed more money to feel secure. But what I really needed was clarity. Clarity about what mattered most, and the courage to live in alignment with it. The day I stopped spending just to escape discomfort and started investing in my well-being, whether it was through books, time in nature, or small acts of generosity, was the day money started feeling less like a weight and more like a partner. Have you had a moment like that? A moment where you realized that changing your perspective changed everything? So, I invite you now to reflect. Where is your attention going? What intentions are guiding your financial life? These aren't questions with quick answers, but they're powerful starting points, because when you begin to look at money through the lens of intention, you don't just change your spending, you change your sense of purpose, your inner peace, and ultimately the life you're building. And isn't that what true abundance is all about? Number 5, give to receive. Let's talk about something that might feel a little backwards at first. The idea that giving is the doorway to receiving. In a world that often teaches us to hold on tightly to what we have, this can sound strange. But the truth is, generosity is one of the most powerful forces for attracting true abundance into your life. Not just financial wealth, but emotional richness, spiritual growth, and a deep sense of peace. Giving, whether it's your time, your attention, a helping hand, a kind word, or the wisdom you've gathered from your own journey, sends out a clear message. I trust there is enough. I am not afraid. And that trust is magnetic. It draws more goodness toward you, not because you expect it, but because you're already aligned with it. As the saying goes, the ocean only fills a cup that's been emptied. So ask yourself, are you holding your cup so tightly that nothing can come in? Or are you willing to pour a little out and make space for more? You see, the act of giving doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. In fact, the small, heartfelt gestures often mean the most. A warm smile to someone having a hard day, listening without interrupting when a friend needs to talk, or sharing something you've learned with someone who could benefit. These are all forms of generosity. And when you give freely, without strings attached, something inside you shifts. You begin to feel lighter, freer, more connected. It's not about what you lose by giving. It's about what you gain by living with an open heart. Think about a garden. If the soil never let go of last season's seeds, new life couldn't grow. Nature shows us this truth again and again. Letting go is not loss. It's the beginning of renewal. Now take a moment to reflect. In what ways have you been generous recently? Not just with money, but with your energy, your presence, your spirit. And how did it feel afterward? Often we walk away from those moments more fulfilled than before. That's no accident. That's the energy of abundance at work, quietly, steadily, beautifully. Giving reminds us that we are already abundant, even if the world tells us otherwise. It shifts us from a mindset of scarcity, where we always feel like something is missing, to one of gratitude and sufficiency, where we recognize just how much we have to offer. Let your generosity be the proof that you're already living in abundance, not waiting for it to arrive. And here's something deeper to consider. When you give with joy and openness, you're not just helping others, you're healing yourself. The Buddha taught that acts of giving purify the mind, reduce selfishness, and increase compassion. This isn't just about being a good person. It's about becoming free. Free from the fear that there's never enough. Free from the anxiety that makes us hold back. Free from the illusion that we are separate from others. Generosity connects us heart to heart and reminds us of what truly matters. So the next time you feel stuck or like something is missing, don't just look outward. Look inward and ask, What can I give right now, from where I am, with what I have? As we've seen today, these 6 numbers are more than symbols of luck. They're invitations to live with purpose, awareness, and alignment. Whether you're drawn to number 3's joyful creativity, 4's steady foundation, or the deep intuition of 11, each number carries a frequency that speaks to the deeper journey of abundance, not just in wealth, but in wisdom. So, as Sunday, May 18th approaches, don't just wait for luck to find you. Meet it halfway, with clarity, intention, and heart. Because true prosperity isn't just about what you gain, but about who you become along the way. If this message resonated with you, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the powerful teachings we have coming up. Thank you for being here. May your path be peaceful, your choices mindful, and your heart always open to life's quiet blessings. Until next time, walk gently and stay wise.